I'm not saying these movies will come out this year, but I am anticipating them. What's up, guys? We are in the year 2021, finally, and we hopefully have some movies coming out this year. So I figured instead of doing just a horror list, I'm just going to combine it all. So these are my 10 most anticipated movies for the year. I did a top 10 most anticipated movies for 2020, and a lot of those didn't even come out, so you might see one or two of those on here. But I purposefully tried to put as many movies on here that I haven't mentioned yet from the last video, because what's the point in giving you two videos that are pretty similar? Also, don't weigh too heavily on the ranking position of these, all right? Because my number 12 movie might end up being the best of the year. I don't know, all right? But I guess it's rated according to my anticipation. Let me repeat that. My anticipation. Every time I put out these lists, and they do very well, thank you very much, I have the occasional commenter that probably lives in a basement that has to critique me, stating that my list is the worst list ever, or I don't know what I'm talking about, and I probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's just funny, okay? It's just funny. They're just movies, okay? People, they're just movies, all right? It's not that big a deal. All right, anyway, I'm gonna give you two honorable mentions, all right? First honorable mention is King Kong versus Godzilla. Couple reasons I'm really looking forward to this. One is Adam Wingard. Big fan of Adam Wingard. Did Your Next. So it's interesting to see him jumping from the horror genre to something like, big monster creature feature. Also, I'm a massive fan of both properties, King Kong and Godzilla, especially King Kong. Like, one of the first movies that I remember watching was King Kong 1976. But I'm just curious to see what these two titans are going to look like size-wise. That rhymes. Because we all know Kong is not as big as Godzilla, but I guess it depends on who's telling the story, right? And Kong from Skull Island was the biggest Kong we've ever seen. So I'm sure that they did that for a reason, so that way he could go up against Godzilla. But man, I'm really looking forward to this one. Next honorable mention is going to be The Matrix 4. And the reason it's so far down the list is because I love the first Matrix. The second and third, not so much. All right. There's some good moments in both those movies, but overall, they pale in comparison to the first movie. So I'm not expecting that much out of Matrix 4. Does that mean that this can't be a good movie? Of course not. This could be the second best movie of the franchise. Hell, maybe even the first. I doubt that. There's no way this movie's going to top The Matrix. Okay, so anyway, getting into the top 10. Number 10, Wrong Turn. I just did a trailer reaction for this recently, and I'm not a fan of the franchise. I think the first movie is only okay. But after watching that trailer, and just the idea of Wrong Turn does entice me, I think this has the potential to be really good. It was a good trailer, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's not rocket science. This is just what horror fans like. Travelers lost in the woods, and these crazy hillbillies killing them. That can be good, all right? Hills Have Eyes did it. Number 9, Don't Breathe 2, which, funny little anecdote. Like, I did a DD Live, I think maybe like last year sometime, and I had just a picture from Don't Breathe 2 on, or not even from the second movie, from the first movie. And for some reason, that thing's got like almost 30,000 views for a live stream. YouTube's a weird place sometimes. Like, that shouldn't happen at all, and it's very strange. Man, I love the first Don't Breathe. That right there is reason enough that I'm looking forward to the second. I love the blind, what do you call him? The blind killer? I don't know. The blind man. He's a good character. Stephen Lang does not disappoint. I still think Stephen Lang should have been Cable. I don't know if that would have made the movie any better. But yeah, I'm looking forward to where the story goes, because spoiler alert, Jane Levy, she survived at the end of the first movie. So I'm hoping that she's going to be in this one. So hoping this movie releases. Number 8, Morbius. I'm a big Vampire fan, big Jared Leto fan. And really, I think that trailer is what piqued my interest, because at the end, they had that little Easter egg with Michael Keaton, the Vulture. Now that we know what's coming with SpiderMan being like a shared universe or something like that, maybe that even ties into it more. Hell, when Morbius was running by you saw that like painting and it was like Spider-Man, like the Tobey Maguire version. So maybe that was all intentional. I don't know. And maybe Morbius ties into this whole Spider-Man shared universe. But I like the character too, you know? We do have a Marvel vampire in Blade, but Morbius looks like he's kind of the opposite of what Blade is, you know? And it's cool that this guy was like near death, and then it's the vampire serum that causes him to have all these powers. I think that could be interesting. We'll see. Number 7, Spiral. Again, not a big Saw fan, but that trailer really gave me like really strong Seven vibes and even more like Bone Collector vibes. So I'm curious to see where Chris Rock and his production team go with this story. I mean, it could even be like a spin-off of Saw. Who knows? We'll see. But it looks very interesting, actually. I was getting pretty tired of the sequels to Saw. I was just getting annoyed by it because it seemed like the story was getting away from itself. And with each movie, they had to like write themselves into a corner, so they had to figure out how to get out. And I don't know. So this looks like a nice, fresh start. Number 6, Venom 2. Venom's like my favorite Marvel villain. And I don't think Venom was a perfect movie by any means, but I think the two things that saved that movie were Tom Hardy and Venom. Their back and forth with each other, I think, was wonderful and fun. I didn't like the villain that much, which funny enough was Riz Ahmed, who was amazing in Sound of Metal. We'll see where this other one goes, and more importantly, will it tie into this whole Spider-Man universe, and could Venom end up showing up somewhere along the way? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, though. I like Venom as a character. Venom's fun. You give me 2 hours of Venom, I'm happy. Number 5, I'm going to include this, the Snyder Cut of Justice League. I know technically it's a TV show on HBO Max, but man, it's going to be nice to get a little bit of redemption from the Joss Whedon cut, which was a very screwed up version, like just probably one of the most forgettable superhero movies ever. And I'm glad we're finally going to see Zack Snyder's vision. You know, you could tell that wasn't a Zack Snyder movie. Some scenes in it felt like Snyder had a hand in there, but for the most part, it just felt like a mashup. So I mean, I can't believe it's March is when this thing's coming. This is definitely coming. So I'm looking forward to it. It's 4 hours long. And I have my notes here for my review of Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut. I'm going to do like a revisited. And I was going to go ahead and record that, but I'm going to wait and I'm going to time it just right and do it like right before that airs, because I want to put a lot into that video. So look for Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut Revisited coming soon. Probably like right before the Snyder Cut. Number 4, Candyman. I love the first Candyman. Haven't seen any of the sequels. Don't really care to see the sequels, but the first one was really great. And the thing that sold me on this one was the trailer. It was a great trailer. And I do trust Jordan Peele, you know, being behind the production. Sure, he's not directing it, but I think under his wing, this has the potential to be very good. And just the story of Candyman is really interesting. You know, it's a good story because he's the villain of the movie, but he's a sympathetic villain. And I often like sympathetic villains. And technically, this is a sequel, I think, and not a remake. So, very interesting. I'm going to switch number 2 and 3, okay? So, number 3 now is going to be Dune. All right, I'm going to put Dune. Dune was going to be number 2, but I think I'm a little bit more excited for the one I'm going to replace it with. And also, I haven't seen the original Dune, but there's one key thing that makes me want to see Dune and that makes it this high on the list, and that is Denis Villeneuve. The guy never does me wrong. Everything he's put out is amazing. The guy is just a masterful director. Blade Runner, 2049, Arrival. I mean, everything he does, it just feels so big, you know? He just has this way of making what's in front of the camera just feel like massive. And also Hans Zimmer is doing the score. Hans Zimmer currently is like my favorite composer. He's just amazing. And he fits perfectly with Villeneuve. So Dune, cannot wait. So number 2 is going to be the, I guess, untitled Spider-Man sequel to Far From Home. And look, right, I'm going to put my cards on the table right now. I am not a fan of Homecoming and of Far From Home. All right, I don't like that flavor of Spider-Man. I don't like his high school friends. Everything about it just feels a little bit forced and a little bit fake. I like Tom Holland, but This movie, I mean, you already know, they're putting freaking Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this. Is Tobey confirmed yet? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be confirmed if he's not. But that alone right there, I mean, just the idea of a shared universe with Spider-Man. And Spider-Man does have like the best villains too, and you got Doc Ock returning to this and some other villains. But man, this, I'm excited. Like, I really cannot wait. Just the idea of seeing, you know, Garfield, Maguire, and Holland in the same frame. This could do like freaking Avengers numbers, and I'm sure it will. Like, this is big. And number one, of course, Halloween Kills. I say more? I'm a Halloween guy, okay? I'm sorry. It's just my franchise. I love my boy Myers, all right? Halloween Kills, from everything I've heard, looks to be the most emotional movie in maybe the franchise. You know, Carpenter himself said this is going to be like a slasher movie on steroids. I can't wait for this movie, and I'm glad that I've been able to avoid, you know, pretty much most of the spoilers, because the script is out there now, all that stuff. I don't want to see any of it. I've had people try to send me the script. Get that shit out of here. I don't want it. All right. I want to sit down and I want to enjoy this movie and not really know too much. I'll watch the trailer, but man, I can't wait. Halloween Kills. I think it's going to be good. I really do. And I will admit, I've leveled off on Halloween 2018, but I still enjoy the hell out of that movie. Every time I watch it, I still have a blast with it. You know, it's still, even though it's like my number 6, number 7 in the ranking, it's still a 4 out of 5 movie, you know? And the score is probably one of my favorites in the franchise. So Halloween Kills. I can't wait. So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments, which ones are you looking forward to the most? Looking forward to hearing them? Is there a movie that I didn't list? I'm sure there is, that you're looking forward to. Let me know. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on all my socials. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Barry kicks ass.